What do a family of 5, 2 Shortland Street stars and 1,100 other people have in common? They're all on the start line for round 3 of the State Ocean Swim Series. Round 2 was staged in Auckland. It was the Auckland Harbour Crossing, a 2.8 kilometre swim, a world-class field featuring 2 of the big names out of Australia, Trent Grimsey and the man affectionately known as Killer Kai Hurst. Grimsey crossed the line first but was ultimately disqualified for an indiscretion on his journey across the harbour, which opened the door for this man, Kai Hurst. In the women's side, she left it to the last minute, but it was Cara Baker once again becoming the Queen of Auckland. And today we're in Wellington, absolutely positively Wellington. The sports crazy city hosts round 3 and it is an absolutely beautiful day. And having a look at the course today for our more than 800 swimmers covering a journey of 3.3 kilometres. It starts in front of Frank Kitt's Reserve and it ultimately finishes at Freiburg Beach. The swimmers take a straight drag around the Gillingham Lighthouse, around the famous fountain and into the finish line. And while the elites will be battling it out for a combined prize pool in the series of $46,000, it's ultimately about the swimming enthusiast.
Why are you doing the race, sir?
Well, it's an iconic Wellington event.
It's a beautiful day. Are you glad it's not choppy?
I've practiced in the chop just in case.
I'm looking forward to having a good swim, yes.
Why are you doing this race, ma'am?
I'm not sure. I've been away for a month and I've only been back 2 weeks, so I guess it'll be good to see just how much fitness I've lost.
For fun, I live in Wellington and it's a good thing to do. Swimming in the ocean is amazing.
Yeah, why do you like it so much?
Normally the tranquility, but that won't be this morning. But just the not having to turn, getting out there. Yeah, and it's fun to do this with a whole lot of friends. It's good.
Right here.
Well, I'm not sure it'll be fun for our lead athletes getting their final instructions, and what a field featuring New Zealand's open water national champions Cara Baker and a very wary Kane Radford.
Yeah, I don't quite know what's home at the moment. I've only slept on my bed for three days lately, But hey, that's what you got to do to be up there with the best in the world. You got to travel around and to get as much experience as possible.
What do you make of the conditions today, mate?
You couldn't ask for a better day. The sun's shining, it's as calm out there. It's great. It's not many days you can get a day like this in Wellington.
And you and Philip Ryan in a bit of a head-to-head contest today. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, definitely. He's a really good swimmer. He's going to push me the whole way. It'll be a great race.
It's been a bit of a rocky road since I got back from Taupo. Was trying to basically recover after doing 15k in a weekend. So this race is basically trying to see where my training is at this point. And that's what all these races are about, using these as a vantage point.
And Charlotte Webby, your main competition today?
Yeah, she definitely is. She's going to be right there and she's going to be making sure that she takes revenge against me, I guess, after the harbour crossing.
Yeah, great rivalry as our elites make their way into the water, getting ready for a start in round 3 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, the Capital Classic. Joining me in commentary, former national swimming representative Scott Rice, and once again, here we are, the coloured caps of our elite. We are underway.
Yeah, Mark, well, they start just off to the left of the main field and away they go. Elite marshals watching on as they make their way down to the Gillingham Lighthouse, 2 kilometres down Lambton Harbour on this absolutely beautiful Sunday morning.
And immediately we see Kane Radford in the green cap trying to get off the line as quickly as he can. And as we saw in the pre-race interviews, keep an eye also on the pink cap of Philip Ryan, Casey Glover in the silver cap. They're expected to be his 2 main challengers. On the women's side, Cara Baker, currently sitting in about 4th place, is also wearing a green cap, and she'll be very wary of Charlotte Webby. And Scott, we don't have the Australians across here today because of a busy calendar over there. That means not a big elite field, more gaps, more opportunities.
Well, absolutely, Mark. And Radford, being the #1 open water swimmer in the country at the moment, really starting to put some pressure on the rest of the field. In fact, he's opened up a good lead of 20 metres on Philip Ryan at the moment. This is an important race for the Kiwis. It is the best 3 of 6 events around the country to get the series champion. And this will be a race where the Kiwis will want to just get maximum points to get up that series table.
So Kane Radford in complete control. He first introduced himself at about the age of 17 when he won the Auckland Harbour crossing, and very much took everybody by surprise that day. One of his real strengths initially was his ability to get around the course in a very straight line. In more recent times, I don't know, Scott, he seems to have maybe not worked on that as much, but we've seen a very good example of it today.
Well, I'm not sure exactly, and he'd be able to tell me, but I think in the last few times I've seen Kane swim, he just seems to have lost a little bit of his confidence. But this is what we remember, and this is what we like to see. Kane Radford going fast from the very beginning. That's how he's won races in the past, and this is how I think it works. So this is a good start by Kane, but hey, we can't discount Philip Ryan. He only got beaten by 2 or 3 seconds over the 10 and 5K distances a couple of weeks ago at the State New Zealand Open Water Champs.
So Philip Ryan in the pink cap, and he's very much made it his signature, his trademark, and that is to swim with a sleeveless wetsuit. And I think that's for flexibility reasons. He probably thinks that it gives him greater feel, greater flexibility, which is so important for our elite swimmers.
Absolutely, and the sleeveless wetsuit obviously still offering that buoyancy in the chest and the legs. Here's a look at Ben Campbell-McDonald, currently third in the men's field at the moment. A very, very accomplished ultra-distance swimmer. He swam 81 kilometres over Lake Wakatipu last year, and probably one of the longest distances a swimmer in New Zealand's ever swum.
Well, an outstanding start from Charlotte Webby. She is in the yellow race cap, which is the symbol that she is the leader of the series, because narrowly at the moment she has a slight lead over Casey Glover in the silver cap. So the guys doing battle with the men.
And this is Cara Baker, so she looks to be trailing Charlotte Webby just a little bit at the moment, and that's, again, unusual for Cara. Normally neck and neck, but Charlotte doing a great job at the moment, just keeping alongside Casey Glover. Of course, Casey was, or still is, the Cook Strait record holder, and a great record to have that one, indeed.
Well, mental toughness, mental fortitude, how tough is that to concentrate for such a long period of time? But we talked about at the start, Scott, the size of this elite field is a lot smaller than normal, so there are more gaps. But equally too, there's not as much traffic, it's not as busy, so you're sighting, maybe getting a gauge on where your competition is probably going to be easier today.
Yeah, well, I think the wind has certainly come up a little bit of a chop forming, but it is 2 kilometres, and in all of the swims around the country, this is probably the longest straight of any of the swims. And so these athletes are going to have to make sure that they're swimming the straightest possible line.
Well, just having a look at Charlotte Webby out of New Plymouth, 24 years of age, winner of the State Pie Hair Classic in 2012, butterfly specialist, so we know she is tough.
And she is tough. Unfortunately, just skipped or went round the can the wrong way and had to go back in the State Harbour crossing, losing that lead to Cara Baker. So she is in very, very good form. Back to the front of the field, Mark, with Kane Radford.
Yeah, Kane Radford in control. Nice, long, lengthy stroke. He has lengthened the stroke out, mind you. Chop just starting to come up as they come around the Gillingham Lighthouse, one of the real landmarks here in Wellington. And as he rounds that, you'll see the kick come into play, stroke just shorten up a little bit, and he'll want to come out of this turn and just accelerate a little bit.
Well, this is the first opportunity, Mark, where he can see how far he is in front of Philip Ryan. And at the moment, he'll be feeling very, very comfortable. Looks like Ryan has lost his pink cap, so we'll be watching out for that. Yep, Ryan has lost his cap. He's just rounding that lighthouse, so a good lead of looks like 100 metres, Kane Radford now, which he'll be starting to feel a little bit more comfortable.
But he's still got to maintain that concentration, Scott. You lose concentration, you can very easily go off course here, which is going to equate to time. You can open the door. We've seen that in the past. In fact, I think it was Kane Radford last year who missed a final can. He hit the beach, he had to jump back in, swim back out, swim back around it, managed to get himself on the podium. But, you know, these are things they do need to factor in.
Absolutely, and there is the series leader, yellow cap, of Charlotte Webby. She is rounding the marker now and not far behind. Casey Glover looks to have about 10 to 15 metres on her now, but Charlotte will be trying to chase Casey down.
A great race developing in the women's race as we're more than halfway through round 3 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series.